21 in the morning. That looks right. I had coffee earlier with my neighbor, Ruben. Chatted a little bit. Showed him some new stuff. Suggested maybe he look into reading. Pick up a book. The old man's got a lot of free time. And you know what happens when you have a lot of free time. It tends to get occupied by whatever's in front of you. So, me, I want to spend a bit of time today and really think about what it is I need to get done. I know it probably sounds like I forget often. And I do. I'm only human. That's why I have to write shit down. Otherwise I get bummed by myself, my laziness. There's one thing I didn't check, and it's important to do these system checks. Just make sure that everything is firing away on all cylinders. Hey, Julie, good morning. How are you? At least I can see your message. Can you see my message? Hope that's working. Oh, you know what's really funny is I'm putting away my phone in my pocket after asking this question, can you see my message? And there we go. This faster than light thing, this is the future. Everybody that's just like stuck on Twitch, unless they're at the point as broadcasters where they don't need to be hyper interactive, I don't know why they're not on Mixer. Mixer's a great platform. And mark my words, this year, well, let me back up a step. I'm gonna put a real concerted effort into making Mixer partner this year. It's possible. I think by embracing FTL, by really focusing on, son of a bitch. I'm gonna grab my laptop too. Before we head out, let me grab my laptop real quick. No, I'm not even. I just realized this entire thing. I've got to get my ducks in a row ahead of time. There are certain changes that I'm a little hesitant to commit to during live time. Because I don't want the signal to drop, and this causes me to move a little slower on some fronts, but it's also at the point right now where things are largely okay. Like, you can hear me, you can see me, it's virtually in real time. You can't get a lot better than that. It's tough to beat that. So I'm gonna be happy with what we've got going on right now and say it's good enough. But moving forward, there's a little bit more that I need to do. I talked a bit about boiling frogs, and put it this way, I haven't been increasing the temperature for the past few days. I've just been resting and relaxing, and I think that's okay. Now we're back on in a week. But the time's flying by. Come here, Paul. Come here. Good boy. You're such an incredible little dog. Nothing but grossness on Mixer. How so? Yeah, it's okay. Anyways, I've got my friend Rick. He's going to be in town on Thursday. He and his wife. So I've got to prepare the place a little bit. I mean, just at least, get the bedding washed for them. Are you aware that women have breasts? Yes, I was aware that women have breasts. I happen to quite like memories. Memory glands are wonderful. I don't mind implants, you know, but there's something nice about just natural. I guess the nice thing about natural stuff is you can know that it can move on through generations, right? Whereas implants, well, you better hope that future generations also have money for implants or whatever's in vogue at that time. Ooh, shit. This guy is a VR influencer, thought leader, entrepreneur. Says my New Year's resolution is like something 3860 by 2160p, 3840 by 2160p at 120 hertz. That's pretty wild. It's really wild. Meanwhile, I'm just chugging along at 1080 at 60 hertz on my systems, broadcasting to you at 30 FPS because 60 is for scrubs. I mean, fuck. I just dumped all my tobacco. 60 is for scrubs because it actually limits you. It constrains you. And not enough people know this. They assume the faster the frame rate, the better. This is true for high-playing, like fast-paced action games. It's not true with cameras and video. It may be true if all you do is spend time outdoors. And you want people to look at your stuff and go, hey, it looks like a cheap soap opera. In which case, be my guest. 60 frames all day, every day. Keep filming your cheap soaps. We're going for cinema. You know, the thing that you have to catch. Matinee performance. I'm not sure a lot of Mixer. The thing is, Mixer's got a artificial intelligence. Mixer's got a lot of young guys. You've got, especially from the UK, my God, I noticed that like there are a lot of young British kids on Mixer. Kids, young Mixer, young kids, yeah, okay. Talking like 13, 14 years old on their Xboxes, all they do is play Fortnite and other first-person shooters, and they like to trash talk people. I can't tell you how many times I've seen the word nonce appear in my chat. And it's always from Mixer. Like people on Twitter, I mean not Twitter, on Twitch they don't call me nonce, they just call me chink. You know, or gook. But on Mixer, I get all sorts of colorful English slang. And I find it quite endearing. I don't like the word nonce. I ranted about this, like I got quite upset with these people. And gave them a piece of my mind. I'm like, no, that's absolutely the worst possible thing that you could do. Fuck the nonsense of this world. I hope they have to come across the parents of the children that they fuck up. Meet every wrathful father. And fuck the deadbeat daddies who have to sell their kids. Like, shouldn't have had them in the first place. It's terrible. Like, I'm all for prostitution. Legalized prostitution, but not kids. You know, Leon the Professional? No women, no kids. Like, professionals, they have to have standards, man. Otherwise, all you are is a mercenary. Gotta have your principles. Now we wait. If I told you I got the 37.59 seconds of latency to the broadcaster in low latency mode FML. So what the fuck? I thought this was supposed to help things. Ah, that's awful. Wow, that's bad. Maybe I should turn it off on Twitch. I should go back to the old. Like, it can't. Wow, that's awful. I'm sorry. I figured it would be an improvement, at least for some viewers, you know, but that's really bad. We could try YouTube's low latency mode too. I really want to use the low latency mode of each platform. That way, everybody else can get closer to Mixer's speed. Artificial intelligence, the 25,000. 25,000, prepare for scale, launch 4 horizontal. I mean, like, I'm glad that you're getting funding, right? Look, there's certain, it's funny, I was talking about principles, there's certain rules that I think make sense to stick to, and you can call me old school, or just say like, yeah, you don't know what you're talking about, you haven't built anything, but it probably behooves you to focus on one thing at a time. So imagine you only have one thing going, where would you put that $25,000? And do you actually have the $25,000? Like, is there a check written out? Or is it right now just, it's like a promissory? The details matter here. You know, you talked about execution the other day. And then, as luck would have it, I read a book summary and it was talking about execution. It's called I think it was called the execution factor. Come here. Come. I'm rolling a cigarette. Join me. No. Yeah. I don't know what yeah means. Because I asked quite a few questions in there. I can unpack them. If 25,000 could only be invested into one project, what would it be? And a friend of stepfather's, nice. Okay, so you do have this thing, it's good money, you're pretty much guaranteed access to it. Oh, if you're just gonna sit there and whine, I'd rather you be out there barking at the other dog. Join him in a bit. Whoa. Dude, I swear I have like tinnitus. I was listening, everything sounded fine, and suddenly now out of my left ear there's a ringing, and like things, it was as if somebody suddenly turned on a filter. It just went like from a steady hum down to everything floored, and then I heard a high-pitched noise out of my left ear. It's weird. The strangest thing is I go through quite a bit of pain to protect my hearing. So how this happens, I don't know. I don't think it's, I really don't know. I'm always confused by it. But it's something like I've experienced as a youth too. And you hear this high-pitched sound. Maybe what it is some governmental agency trying to activate a brainwave modulator chip inside of my head. But because of all the drugs I've done, I've become aware of it and it no longer has an effect on me. Instead, all I get is this, what do you call this? It's like a side effect, you know? And the side effect here is just this annoying humming, the annoying high-pitched sound in my ear for a bit that quickly goes away. another benefit to documenting life. Yeah? Because in case it's true, in case I really do have an Illuminati brain implant, I think it would be quite evident. 3 months to exit. Oh God, privately seek knowledge. If I can't understand, wealthy seek unvalued height. Trust God. That's why so few are wealthy. Yes. Yeah, I know, but you're not answering my questions yet. Like, you know, he would have asked you similar questions, right? Instead of just like, hey, you know what? It's 25 grand. Do what you want with it. Unless it's just, you know, like, I'm sure he's a very wealthy man. Not everybody has 25 grand just pulled up, sitting around, available to invest. I take your word for it, but I mean, these questions I feel are important. But yeah, I'm kind of slow. My buying temperature isn't very high with you. You know? Because the time frames keep changing. And there's more than that. It's not just time frames. It's not just delivering on promises here. There's a lot. Okay, one has to remember that relationships, not only are they two-way streets, but every single little thing we say and we do is either going to be a deposit within this emotional bank account, this relationship bank account, or withdrawal. And you've got to ask yourself, have I been making more deposits or withdrawals? And don't view it in terms of knowledge that I've dispensed upon this ignoramus Yeti eater. Look at it from a different perspective. More basic. Because I'm a very, very simple man. You know, I don't need a lot of money. You're not going to sell me on big dreams that you have. I have my own dreams, dude. Sure, some of it involves beachfront properties, fast cars, nice things, you know? I know what nice things are too. Trust me. I've probably tasted at least as many nice things as you have. But this question, this really basic question of, hey, well, you got 25 grand, where would you put it if you could choose only one project? Maybe you already said it. I just need to take a second look. I keep saying that I'm going to go back over chat transcripts, but let me be honest. It's tough to do this. It's tough to do it while simultaneously trying to shore up the system. And I'm not in maintenance mode yet. Let me put it like that. Hey! Hey! Hey, dummy! Hey, Paul! Paulie! Paulie! Where the flip did he go? Oh, get over here! What are you doing? You freaking... What the heck, man? I told you, lizards are friends, they're not food. They're hunters, too. You want to leave them alone. Let them hunt. I know it's in your nature to want to hunt, Paul, but if you just focused on things like squirrels and birds, things that we can actually eat, as opposed to little things like lizards, it'd be better for both of us. I want to see you catch squirrels. Sweetie could do it. There's no reason why you can't do it. I believe in you, son. Okay, go. Be good. Hey, leave it. Not that one. Go do anything else but look at the lizard. Leave lizards alone. Go. Go pocket the other dogs. Hey! Leave that alone. Yeah, what? I thought this was good news. I offered a lot of opportunity to just try to reach growth with people once you enter into startup mode. Once I enter into startup mode, oh my lord, dude. I mean, things like this is why I'm hesitant with you. You know, like once you enter in the startup, well, what the fuck are you talking about? Once you enter in this, yeah, you're right. I don't have any business. I'm just a dreamer. Just a dreamer looking for other dreamers, man. What can I say? Once you enter the startup mode, I respect that you've been at this grind for 2 years. You know, you've told me a lot about what you've done. How much do you know about what I've done? How much do you know about where I've been? Because when you said 2 years of doing this, and you know, like the very first few times we interacted, you talked about your credentials. Do you recall I've also shared with you my credentials? And I'm not just talking about pieces of paper. I'm also talking about blood, sweat, and tears. There's a reason why I'm not jumping aboard on your shit right now, right? And if you still don't fucking get it, go back and listen to that conversation that we had while I was sitting out there. The one where you said that there was massive feedback, and you're right, there was massive feedback. But had you told me that, I could have rectified the situation. You did not need to struggle through it. I'm not trying to be mean, dude. But seriously, like, look, 25K, great news, right? Every time you ink a deal, I'm happy for you. I'm rooting for you. Honestly. I want you to succeed too. But if you're asking for something from me, take a moment and reflect on the nature of the discourse between us, how we've communicated over time, right? I recorded this shit for a reason. Call it your quality assurance training. Listen to yourself speaking. I'm not fucking around. I highlighted that bit. Go take a look at videos, highlights from this channel. You'll see it. Until you hear it with your own 2 ears, I don't think you're going to get it. I know you could say the past is the past, but things like this matter. Thank you. I continue offering. Shit, it's not about your offer, dude. Again, if you don't fucking get it, maybe you won't get it. I have nothing really against you as an individual. But right now, I'm not sold on you. It's because of some really basic shit that you still don't get. If you listened, you might understand. Sometimes you just have to stop and really listen. Instead of thinking about what you want to say next, just listen. I'm a firm believer that God gave us 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. The beautiful sounds of the suburbs. People hard at work, angle grinders, table saws. I could use a hype man. I say this, meaning I could use people to help me publicize my shit. You never even begin to comprehend what's at stake. See ya, relaxing is easy, anyone can do that. Yeah, relaxing is easy, man. I love it. Girlfriend wants a ring. Do you want to put a ring on it? You know? At the end of the day, dude, it's your world. I'm just living in it. You know that. Like I said, man, just another dude on the internet. Right? You and me both. I'm glad you're working hard. You have some results to show for it. Keep it up. Me, I gotta figure out exactly what I need to get done, because I've still got a few solid days where I can work. Like, actually work. After that, I'm gonna be on the road for a bit. I'm gonna be on the road for 2 days. And then I'll be getting situated again. Orientation. Then actually showing up to work. 5 days a week, man. 5 days a week. Just stacking. And it's not gonna be big money. It's just good money. But I'm not complaining. I need it. I've been in need of some lifeblood for a while. To give you an idea of how I'm feeling right now, though, I started reaching out to a girlie I know. I'll hit her up around lunchtime, see what she's up to. She works. She's been working for some years now at one of the big four. I haven't actually kicked it with her since like 2012, 2013. So it's been like, fuck, what? 5.5 years since I last saw her in the flesh. But she's been keeping well. She shares the occasional swimsuit photos. Not like privately. But we'll see if that changes. I don't know. I don't really care either way. I could use a little bit of companionship. She's got cute friends too, which helps. Like, she's cute, she's got cute friends. Bank opens more doors later. I'm not mad, just don't insult me when I continue offering so much. You ask for salary live on stream. Yeah, of course, I want to get paid, dude. Like, you know that. That's not changing. That situation is not changing. If I work, I want something up front, I want something on the back. I already told you my position on digital marketing. I'm spinning up my own consultancy. No website needed. We do things by trust. Because trust is still a very important factor in today's world. Even with things like blockchain, we still need trust. We can have a fully decentralized organization, sure. We still need trust. Because the work's got to be done. It's got to be done on time. It's got to be done to spec. All right, so you talked about ISO 9001 or whatever it was. I don't know about all of that. I can take a look at it.
But if you want to build the future, I gotta get paid, man. I'm sorry. If you're willing to open up your books to me, that's great. I'll be willing to take a look at them and try to help you out a bit. I don't mean my own time in exchange for your money. I mean, I'm willing to just sit down and look at the books with you. I'm willing to look at the numbers. Because I can guarantee you, if I were in your game for 2 years, I would not be in your position. I don't mean this in a demeaning way. Just I have confidence in my own ability. And it's taken a while for me to get to the point where I can effectively say this. But trust me, when you see that I start making money off my clients, I'm going to be upping my rates fast. Because I'm going to be the one writing contracts. And if people don't review every single last line of these contracts, they don't understand what they're getting into. That's on them, not me. I'm going to have very specific terms that I'm willing to work under. Because the internet is a fast-moving place. Consulting is an old trade. When you're consulting in new spaces, you got to rewrite things a bit. And if company A doesn't want to do business with me, they don't like my terms, I don't like their terms, we can agree to disagree. I'll go work for company B. And I'll share every step of the way the results that I generate for company B. And company A will eventually turn around and say, shit, we're willing to renegotiate. At that point, you know what I'll tell them? It depends. It depends. There's no form answer for that one. It really depends on where I'm at that point. Content creation loop. This new project. I think I'm just going to spit out some stuff. I really don't know what else there is that's urgent and important. I mean, I need to get vaccinated. I need to get new rubber on my rear axle. That one tire still needs to be replaced. I'll probably head down to the tire shop and continue doing work over there. Because I can. Because we have the technology. And who knows, maybe I'll even broadcast from there, just proof of concept, right? It's a new month. My data is refreshed for this month. So I could try putting on an ultra lo-fi stream from there. Maybe like, I don't know, 0.5 megabit per second. I've only got the one cellular modem to work with right now, so I'll make do with what I got. At the same time though, having some peace and quiet, some focused productivity time is going to be good for me. So I'm not yet decided. Jugular, dude, it's been way too long. Welcome back, man. Welcome back. I thought to reach out to you when you left my Discord server, do like a post, an exit survey, figure out what had happened. But I'm glad you decided to stop back in again, man. It's been too long. On December 30th, I lost my right rear tire. A bad patch job at a Mexican tire shop I went to some time back. They didn't follow RMA standards for doing the work. I was upset at the time they did it. But the results were catastrophic. And I got lucky on this one. I drove the car back home. Took it like 2-3 miles back home, doing about 5-10 miles per hour. Backed up onto the driveway, and fortunately there was no damage to the wheel. I lucked out hard, man. I lucked out because as soon as I heard this noise from the back, and I pulled over, and then I pushed it real slow the rest of the way back. So that little situation cost me, you know, like 140 bucks out the door. The dude at the tire shop hooked me up too. He gave me a 10% discount. Really appreciate that. Francisco Flores, thank you. Thank you. If you had social media, I'd plug you. But the guy doesn't use social. He doesn't fucking use Instagram, Snapchat, none of it. I don't even think he has a Facebook, man. Hey, you can get better online. I know, I was in a hurry though. I wanted to get back in operational stat. The way I looked at it, the tires, they're like ultra high performance summer tires. I figure I can run over here no problem all year round. Like Houston's just always hot. So they're gonna get eaten up a little faster than the next tire, but I don't mind. By the end of the year, it'd be really cool if one, I could get a fast car, and two, I could soup up the current ride. I'd make it into a real sleeper. Get it blown. Like either a turbo or a supercharger, I don't know. Come here! And you accept if an investor needs to know, perform, execute, and ask you about that. I guess just optimistic for all. See you, man. Much love. I just have big opportunities, big life, greater life, dude. The thing is, I appreciate you bringing opportunities over to me. Yeah. But in case you couldn't tell, I also have things I'm working on. Like, my hands are kind of full right now. I need help as is. And the only way that I can multiply my time is through money. Because with money, I can pay other people for their time, which is the problem that you're in at the moment. Right? That's why last night I suggested that there was one resource that would really help you out right now. And you talked about this 25 grand. If you're willing to like throw 25 grand at me so I can go build up a team and lead it, that's one thing. Yeah, but I gotta take a cut too. If I'm gonna be managing a team, I need to make some money for my time. 25 grand alone could buy us 6 months of a dedicated team, dedicated tech team working on this project. I already have the contact. It's a personal contact. My uncle. He's got 5 offices in China, 1 in Japan. All they do all day is execute tech projects on behalf of other businesses. He's been good to me. I want to also be a patron of his business. But I'm not calling in favors like, hey, uncle, I need you to spin up a team so that I can help this guy who's got some ideas, you know. Like, I wouldn't do it for myself, much less anybody else. There's got to be money, man. If there's no money, I can't do the work. Again, I'm sorry. It's nothing personal. I hope you have a better understanding now of where I'm coming from. I'm a poor young man. I need the money. Otherwise, all I've got is my own time, dude. And I move slow, you know that. This is me with no kids, no girlfriend. Like, not having to cook for myself. Wait until we start adding all this other shit. What do you think's gonna happen? Let's get you some food, come on. Leave it. Let's go. Come on, dummy. Door's closing. There's nothing for free in this world, dude. Except for love. I got plenty of love for you. I believe you have some love for me, too. But the trouble is, love doesn't pay my bills. You have a girlfriend. You don't need my type of loving. Besides, I'm not that into guys. Dude, I gotta take care of this little bugger. Gotta keep his coat looking sharp, man. Yeah, you're my good boy. Who's my good boy? Who's your good doggy? Yes, Paul, you're a good doggy, dog. I love you, Paul. Yeah, this food nourish you and make you stronger. Keep you nice and healthy, so that you can produce many offspring. I'm gonna have all sorts of little guys running around here. And then into the arms of loving families, Paul. You're not gonna have to deal with them. For you, it's gonna be fire and forget. Just the way it should be, bud. And me, I'm gonna make sure we get good people lined up, so that your little ones have every opportunity in the world to go out and live fabulous lives, just like you've had the great privilege of enjoying. Done. Yes. Yes, my kid. You're a good boy. Yes, you are. If anybody ever talks down about you, Paul, you know what? You know what you tell them? I don't know, but you'll come up with something. You'll come up with something because you're a good one. You're a smart one. Even if I call you dumb sometimes when other people praise your intelligence, know that I'm proud of you. Okay? It's all. This area needs a little more attention. Sit. That's it. Yeah. Gotta get in there a bit, bud. You're like a little Barbie. Such beautiful, beautiful hair. You know this. You got a great coat, bud. There we go. Silky smooth again. Silky smooth. Jarkler, I don't know if you're still here with me, but a lot's changed, man. I know it's tough to tell from the surface. Can you sit? Can you sit? But my life has been going through some real changes lately, dude. Since we last interacted, everything has changed. I'm still no richer. Well, actually, I'm a little richer. Just a little. I have much less in the way of financial stress. So I can sleep a lot more comfortably. Yes, my boy. I love you very much. Can we shake? Yes, we can. You're a good boy. I'm fond of you. Okay, go take your food. All right. Finger licking, lip smacking. Woo! All right, let's get to work. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life. Are you feeling good? I'm feeling good, man. Feeling so good. It should be criminal to feel this good. Woo. You know how I feel? Bump, 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 bump. The big band is playing. Bump, bump. Fastest way to get rich quick is to start a Ponzi scheme and flee the country. I'm not going to do that. Some people can get away with it. No Bernie Madoff shit here. If you want to get rich slowly, I got ways. If all you need is like $25, I can help you. If you need a couple of G's, I can show you where to get it. But it takes time and you have to have something. You don't give me the money, it just goes to the banks. The banks give it right back to you and then some. It's actually a pretty good interest on it. Easy money. Just few people do it. I think a lot of guys have these qualms about it. Even if they have the money, they're like, especially if they have the money actually, it's like, why would I do that? I feel like I'm taking from the system, but it's not. The financial system is a very complicated animal. We know how it works. But once you get into like derivatives and shit, man, good luck. Good luck sorting that out. They've added so many layers of complexity. What's the dog's name? Paul. He's a goat dog. Kussah, chat soon? Yeah. Let me hit you up. Whoops, I just closed out of my app. Fire it up again. Is MBA a waste of money and time? Depends where you get your MBA. It's not for everybody. The school I'm at accepts a lot of students straight through out of undergraduate programs. In fact, they've got a 5-year joint degree program with the industrial engineering department. So you can get a Bachelor of Science in Industrial Engineering and then an MBA, 5 years. And a lot of these guys, man, they don't have any experience. Like, they're unproven. They know how to tie their shoelaces and like show up for class. And that's pretty much it. This is not just to talk down on my peers like I'm greater than them in some way. This is really just like my observation, my time spent in the program so far. There are good programs out there, but they're very competitive. And those, you get some heavy hitters. People already in management that have been working for like 3 to 5 years at least. Minimum. And these guys have strong networks. They've proven themselves through their ability. They've exemplified leadership in their organizations. If you're going straight out of school into an MBA program, the program accepts a lot of people straight through. And you end up with that problem that I was talking about earlier. Surrounded by people who don't know left from right. They're still figuring that out. It's easy. Which one is correct? Oh, it's this one. Yeah, those that don't have any experience, you can gain some experience in an MBA program. Like, you've never consulted before, they have a consulting class. But at that point, you're paying money to consult, which is asinine. Like, why the fuck would you do that? You know? Like, what are you doing? Or you're paying money to help other people figure out what are good things to invest in. Again, what the fuck? Like, there's so much experience you can gain just by pursuing your own interests and learning what's out there. Like, knowledge is freer now than it's ever been. My sister was recently sat the GMAT. She was looking into the University of Denver's MBA program. And I told her, like I asked her, how much are they charging? 18-month program, they want to charge something like 40 grand a year. So the net cost of obtaining a degree is going to end up working out to something like 60, 70 grand. Maybe it's higher. I don't even know. It's up there. It's up there. It's like a full year's salary for somebody who's doing well. It's like, well, like, I know you like Denver, but like, you've got an undergraduate degree from Princeton. You realize you could go a lot further for your buck. You know, and besides, like, I suggested to her, there's so many alternatives to actually doing the MBA. She'd already done like a year of this Smartly MBA, which, from my understanding, is kind of selective. I don't know too much about it, but it's a free MBA, just online classes. So she already had a year of that. And I asked her, like, well, so why on earth would you pay the money to go and just refresh this knowledge? Like, go back over your course notes. You still have access to that material, yeah? My suggestion to her was to take a look at the electives within the program. She said, well, there are only 2 elective slots that I get. And I said, that's fine, just take a look at the electives. I figure out what in there is interesting to you, what speaks to you out of that entire list of electives that they offer within your 2 measly slots. And just go from there. You know, start swimming in that direction, and you'll be great. There was a young guy I was talking to from Australia. He was talking about dropping 12 grand on a social media marketing certificate. And I laughed at him. I was like, what? He said, yeah, I've been thinking about it for a year. I said, 12 grand for this certificate that says, oh, I'm a social media marketer. Go take that 12 grand and put it into your own projects. Show results. It's going to be worth so much more than 12 grand inside of a program for people to teach you shit that's like a year old. Most of this it's just bullshit. I mean, not true bullshit, but it's for people that can't read the fucking documentation, that need somebody to hold their hand through it. Like, I'm not happy that I have to actually cough up money for my MBA program. You know, I did 3 semesters with a full ride stipend, and then now they won't give me anything. You know, I should go fight them in my final semester. I should be like, yeah, I need you to reconsider your scholarships. because when I applied for readmission into the program, I was at a really low point in my life. Just freaking out, thinking like, I don't have any experience. I don't know anything. I've got nothing to show on my resume. But now that I've had this time, like to sit back, actually be immersed in the school, talked with a lot of young people, I realized, hey, I've actually had a lot inside of me. I just don't like getting shortchanged. I sold myself short on my application. And I think I'm still under academic probation. I'm coasting at like a 3.1. You know, last semester I got an A- in my 1 credit hour class, so I'm at like a 3.11 now. The director of graduate admissions for the program is like, oh yeah, we're placing you under academic probation. We're going to keep a really close eye on you. All I've got is 5.5 credit hours left. I could bomb everything and still just like slide under the what do you call this? It's not radar. Whatever the fuck this is. Like, anyways, I could slide under it and I could get my degree and just be done with it. Like, at this point, that's all I want. Just get the piece of paper and say thank you very much and come back to Houston. Like, I'm not trying to move up to Chicago. I'm not trying to stay in Missouri. Missouri is a beautiful place, don't get me wrong, but not for me. It's not home. My people are here in Houston. This is where I will return. Mark my words. Like, come graduation, I'm coming down here. My parents were asking me about, hey, saying like, yeah, well, you know, when you graduate, we'll get everybody together. We'll fly everybody out there and, you know, we'll celebrate there. And I said, why the fuck would we do that? Like, if you're willing to fly people out, fly them down to Houston. That way we've only got to fly one person. And all the money that we save on the hotels and all that shit, we'll just eat out. Have a good time. Like, we'll celebrate over here. That's it. I don't need a walk. They can mail me my diploma. I'm not going to frame it. I never put up my petroleum engineering diploma. It's just a piece of paper. But I did gain experience doing it. I made money doing that. Not a lot. Just intern pay. But still, like working for Chevron, $5,100 a month. It's no joke. As a 19, 20-year-old man, it's enough to be happy, man. Lost track of things, lost sight of things. Hey, boy. I don't want you messing with lizards. I want you to leave them alone. You understand? Capiche? Paul. Lizards are friends, not food. Leave it. Be calm. Go take your food. Where are you in Missouri? I'm going to school up in Como. Classes at home. Well, the classes are okay. I mean, it really depends on the course, but you got to remember, they walk you through everything. It's like some basic accounting. They had a class on using Excel. They had a class on like professional communication. They had a class on what else? Yeah, I mean, it's just like really basic shit. A lot of really, really basic shit. Like if you're an investor, you play stocks at all, you read annual reports, you'll learn a lot of this. If you Google, you'll learn a lot of this. Right? So the real meat and bones of the program really comes back down to the electives. And in my case, I took a lot of electives along the lines of launching high growth startups. Like the one really influential one, launching a high growth business venture, where they used technology developed at the university that we could license as individuals, as corporations, and then go and sell on the market. Right? That was a really cool course. My team took first place for that. We each got $1,250 as a prize. I took the course because there was a competitive aspect to it. Small course, meets not on the main campus, but at their startup incubator. They call it the Life Sciences Incubator. Monsanto Life Sciences Incubator. And it was fun. It was a really fun experience. It teaches you how to prepare pitches for investors. And I retain all of that material, but I don't personally use it because I don't want to play too much with other people's money, not yet. Not yet, but there will come a time where I start doing that. I'm just not ready. I don't have a team. I've got a head full of ideas, but I need the right people. And that's partially why I'm in front of you. It's because I'm hoping that over time, the right people will just show up. Or that I'll, by doing this, have something to show people that I can go and say, hey, look, I've been talking about this thing. I've been thinking about this idea. I've been in this space now for 3-4 years. There's something that's missing. It would help a lot of people. People with money, willingness to pay. I've got it sketched out in my head. If you're on board, we could really make something happen. And from there, we could seek an investment round, either some seed capital, hopefully grants. Prefer grants over convertible notes and anything else. Because this, you're dealing with like a web startup. It's all tech biz. It doesn't have to maintain any inventory. It can be done remotely. And it's highly scalable. Cutting edge shit. But gotta have the right team. And to that end, I'm growing my skill set. I'll be getting compensated as an intern, running machine learning models. I'd like to get into more of this deep learning, but it's it's resource intensive. They already have a guy on the team who's heading that up. I want to spend some time talking with him because deep learning is very, very interesting. They made an investment into a rig. I think they picked up, it was just like a single 1080 Ti that they picked up. But it's a start of something. Myself, I don't know if I'd actually want, well, if I was a company, I'd probably maintain hardware. You can depreciate it, it's worth something at the end of the day. And if it's just like a really limited test basis, it makes sense to acquire that one piece of kit. Grants are all taken by the PhDs, not for business. Not for businesses, especially high-tech startups. You have to understand that, like Missouri is sick of being a flyover state. They want to attract more tech talent. Missouri and Kansas both. You see what's happened with like Colorado with Denver. You see what's happened Cleveland. They want more tech talent. Everybody wants more tech talent. And so when you're dealing with a state that's in like smack dab in the middle of the country, which I'm quite favorably impressed by how many entrepreneurs and just like nationwide businesses have emerged out of Missouri, out of the small town of Columbia. It's a college town. It's quite amazing. Like there's some pretty big companies doing big shit based out of that little town. So it turns out to be a pretty good place to actually work and live. Living there is nice because you can get from one side of town to the other in 10 minutes. Here in Houston, 30 minutes gets you from one side of town to like the middle of town. Houston's a big fucking city. But it's my city. And I'd be crazy if I could say that, oh yeah, I'm gonna put my city on the map. It's on the map. It's been on the map. But I would like to build something big here. Texas is very friendly for business. There's a reason why companies like id Software were founded here. Dell Computer founded here. We've got a lot of entrepreneurs here in Houston. A lot. But when it comes to the tech scene, Houston's not quite as evolved. Part of it is because of how spread out everything is. But there's some people here I'd love to meet. I'd love to sit down with and just chat with and pitch ideas to.
I've got a short list. Hey, stop it. Yeah, you whine to me about going out and chasing lizards and stuff, and, you know, I shout at you, of course. You're gonna yawn, of course. You gotta act right, Paul. I'm sitting over here. If you want, you can relax with me. But leave the lizard alone. It's not for you. It has a job that it's doing. Stupid dog. He's just like, he's going nuts here. He's just looking, he's got his paw up like, I can go chase the lizard? No, you can't. Leave it alone. What's your idea? We'll say. What's your interest? I could write it up. I ought to write it up and just keep fleshing it out, because right now it's all, mostly it's up here. I have some lines down on a document, but it's mostly up in here. And there are people doing it in other industries, but this is this, like where I'm coming to you from right now, this is a huge space. Very, very rich space. A lot of opportunity here. That number, $970 million, that Amazon paid for Twitch, that should tell you something. I think once that deal went down, people started really paying attention. They're like, what? Why would Amazon buy this video streaming platform? It's like, why did Google buy YouTube? They did buy YouTube, yeah. I don't think YouTube was spun up out of Google. Maybe it was like an ex-Googler. I don't even know. I haven't studied YouTube that much, but Twitch is very interesting. Look at how many imitators there are around Twitch. But how many viable competitors are there to Twitch in the West? I'd argue there's only really one. It's not Periscope. Periscope's got its place. This broadcast appears on Periscope. Got nothing really against the platform. They've done a good job killing all the bot accounts recently. But I think they did too little too late. They got comfortable with whatever they built and then just let it rot. They haven't kept pace with the times. Are you ready for that startup life? Kind of deeply embedded in it, man. Like, I've essentially been trying to build up my intangible, this brand Yeti Eater, for the past, since like October 2016 or so. I say I really started hitting it hard. At the time, I was hanging out with this dancer, seeing her, and I just let it go, dude. I let it go and I went broke. So Yeti Eater has been this thing that I've been devoting a tremendous amount of time and energy to for the past while, since at least October 2016. And in that time, my goals for this channel have changed entirely. The formats changed entirely. And I no longer bank on the success of this channel. I really don't care. Like, I know it's growing. It will continue to grow over time. At first, slow, linear growth. But there's a J-curve. It's going to take off. And it's not going to take off by me standing here in front of you talking. Like, that is the lowest level activity that this channel will ever depict. And so far it's been, you could say it's been really low energy, right? But it's been good practice for me as a presenter. Come. Yeah, you need to learn to chill, bud.
It's been very useful though. I know Twitch is a very interesting scene, as I talked about. And a lot of people in this game, they're hobbyists. Very few of them are actually going to make anything out of it. I don't have a lot to show. You know, for all the time I've invested in Twitch or into live streaming and the broadcast so far, I have very little to show. I'm proud of YetiEater.com's content. And, you know, it's just a start. It's nothing so far. But like looking back, the year in review, I realized I had actually published a pretty good amount throughout 2018. I thought that I just made a couple of blog posts and that was it, but I was actually pushing quite a bit of content. And it still gets page views. Like right now, since I started YetiEater.com, we're sitting at something like 67,000 page views. Which is nothing. That's really nothing, but it's the fastest growing project that I've seeded so far. And I've done a number of web projects. Some of them didn't get out of the gate. But this is one I'm committed to. Only because Yeti Eater is just another name for my flesh and blood self. And I'm committed to myself. Hey, it's flesh out, you just need a team. It could be something I ask. What the idea is, you say, well, what's your interest? It's not how you can't go to investors, ask them, are you an investor? Are you an investor or a worker? Sec. That's it. Like, I'm not gonna throw the idea out in the open because there's no need to do it. Not yet. Like, until I really know where you're coming from with this question, I don't know how to respond appropriately. Practice free to present. Yeah. I don't mean presenting to investors. I don't need investors on this. Again, by virtue of the business, just how it works. Investment that I receive is going to be private. I'll seek public grants and everything else private. Keep it all private. When the time's right, I'll build out all of it. But it's not right. It's not right yet. Because I need to up my own cash flows first. This is more of a pie in the sky, but it's something I know will work. Just because of what I know about the market, how difficult it is to get discovered on live streaming platforms, what successful broadcasters do that the unsuccessful ones don't, the amount of time required to create quality content. There's a big problem that's waiting to be solved there. I've got a viable solution, and it leverages cutting-edge shit. And so I'm happy to get paid my $16 an hour to get better at machine learning. Least of all because it will lead to a better paying gig in the future. You're a software developer? What languages do you work with? What frameworks do you like? Ah, you said software. Yeah, it's web. This is going to be a web app. So, and as far as software development, yeah, I'm still curious what languages you work with. If you're focusing on universal apps or just Microsoft. Because I know the C# guys, they're an odd bunch. I know them because my brother is one. There are not many of those cats. They tend to have really cushy jobs. But I'm interested in all types, man. I can't promise something right now. But when the time's right, I'll be calling on people. It's just a matter of time. Right now, I've got a project that I'm personally working on. If you look up this keyword, I'm going to drop it in chat. You'll see. That's the project I'm working on right now. And I've got stuff coming in today to help me keep building it. Like really, really excited. Jar color, that will give you an idea of what I've been up to, man. Because like, dude, I've wanted to do much, much more with this channel. Much, much more with my broadcast. I know that where it is right now is like, it's super niche. I don't plug it. Because, like, yeah, I'm proud of what I can do now. But I recognize it's nothing. Like, if I tried to just like scale it based off of what I've got right now, it's it'd be nice, but it doesn't make money yet. YetiEater.com barely made anything. Yeti Eater's, like, everything came in through donations, direct contributions of wealth. I don't want that. I don't want direct transfers. It's not how I want to operate. But I'm grateful for every donation I received. All of this came in 2018. Really grateful for it. Full stack, database, web APIs, C#, JavaScript, SPAs, machine learning. That's excellent, dude. That's really good. Wonderful. How long have you been doing it? Do you have any passion projects you've been working on? Maybe a GitHub profile I can take a look at? Because I'm happy to keep notes. I do try to keep notes on select individuals. Because I know it's tough to find good people. It's the biggest challenge that every business faces. When the time is right, you can bet I'll come with money. I'm not going to come knocking on your door asking questions in the dead of night. Hey, can you do this for me real quick? I don't have anything to pay you with, but I'd really appreciate the favor. No. I know devs make good money, especially here. I'm not interested in lowballing, because it's not right. When I was looking to get into tech consulting as well, I started looking at rates. Kubitschek. Cockram. What a name. Cockram. Revealing my inner kid. As if it wasn't already painfully obvious. Just a big baby. Present, productive. Let's do this, and in books. I mean, I need a lot of help. Whoops, my bad. I can't pay for it yet. So inside, I'll happily cough up. The dog is so cute, thank you. It is a nice partner. What project are you working on? Well, Spiff, I'm working on quite a few things. But right now, there's just one that's occupying my time. Outside of the broadcast, which is, it's background noise. The big project I'm working on is a live streaming rig. If you Google live streaming rig, you'll see what I've been working on. I'd appreciate your feedback on it. If you do provide constructive feedback, it's best for you to just DM me. That way I can keep it all together in one place. So we got this working at least. That's good. Let me pull all this data into my system. Googling. Thank you. I'm glad that you're one of the curious ones. A lot of people lack that curiosity. And if somebody lacks that curiosity, that basic curiosity, I know I can't fuck with them. Like, dude, the world has so many cool things, and I don't bullshit too often, but sometimes I bullshit. I'll talk big, because I have big dreams, man. You have anything done on yours? Like rigs for streamers, so live streaming, you're just talking about one on... hey. Yeah, other people do show up on Google if they've already done it, yes. In fact, if you take a look at the write-up, you'll see I've also called out the gold standard. As for... Jesus, he farted. As for whether I have anything done, The hardware I described, I've already purchased. I have more pieces coming in today. The rig's this big. Like, this is the actual rig, or this is not the actual rig, but it has the same form factor. The broadcast is presently coming to you through an identically sized unit that's inside of my bedroom. And if there are any hiccups in transmission right now, it's because the demands imposed on a wireless network are pretty heavy. I'm using NDI. It takes up to 110 megabits per second for 1080p 30 FPS stream. And I'm doing everything wirelessly because I don't have a USB Ethernet adapter yet. However, I'm receiving that today by 9 o'clock p.m. Once I get that in, I can cut down on the traffic on the wireless LAN. And then I'll get a better understanding of where the remaining weak points are in the system. I've got a USB cellular modem coming in today as well. And I talked some plans about the space, mobile data, last night as I was winding down for the evening. So I won't repeat those now. If you're curious, you can kind of listen in at the tail end of that broadcast. I go a bit into my motivation for doing this. Comes back down to one thing. Competition in business is good. It's good for you, it's good for me. And I don't like being snubbed. I'm not a vengeful guy. I just hate to be ignored. Come here. Come here. Especially if I'm in a position where I say, hey, I'd like to reach an agreement with you where we both make money. You don't actually have to invest in anything in it. You just gotta open me up to being able to take a percentage of any business I refer to you. If people go like, no, sorry, you don't meet our requirements as an affiliate. No, okay, whatever. Bye, dude. I've got plenty of other programs I can go to. And in this case, I don't think there's a really viable one out there. So I'm prepared to spin up a competition. I'm prepared to become the competitor here. Paul, get down. Good boy. Sorry, I haven't figured out how to automate this stuff yet. When I get better at Python, like this is a project I'll be working on. I'll probably live stream it when the time's right. But I'm saving it for when I'm back at school because this is stuff I can do anywhere, you know. And I'm pretty quick with the keyboard. It's no big. Breakfast is almost done, okay. Sorry, may I have a direct link, please, to your work? Spiv, take a look at the first result for live streaming rig. And I think it's better that way. If you take a look, you'll see there's a direct link through my subreddit. And then you'll see that there's some short copy going into it, linking directly over to the content on r/Twitch. Sorry, I'm just a little distracted because I'm trying to grab this stuff. I'm ripping a website. Doing it all manually because, you know, I'm a slow-moving dumb guy. I think that's good enough. You want to kill the live view solo without a bonding solution? I have a bonding solution. I just haven't written about it yet because I want to see if they offer an affiliate program. But Dracula, good eye. Good eye. Rest assured, I've already thought about this. I have an exact, I know the exact piece of software that it takes in order to make it. I was really confused by this one guy's comment on the r/Twitch post. He was saying that I'm not paying for LRT, but I can still use a bonding. I thought, what? That's news to me. Are you aware? We'll see about that. We'll see. We'll see. Like, I'm okay right now just taking in feedback from interested parties who are trying to poke holes at my rig. I think it's going to hold water. I say this because I've been using the base of the stack for a while now. I received delivery of this unit, I think, back on the 20th of December. I want to say the 20th. And I wanted to use it from the hotel room out in New Orleans, but I didn't have everything set up right yet. Like, I was really silly. And now I've kind of worked out some of the kinks, so I can just, if I'm ever away from a hotspot, somewhere where there's new networks I haven't connected to before, I can just plug in my iPhone, and then it'll tether to it. And that way I can remote in and just drive it through the GUI. It's just a lot of really simple problems, one after the other. The bonding one is the most interesting one, and I know how to get it done for less than half of LRT's cost. So, like, the real key benefit here is it really comes back to the money, but the money is like the last thing in my mind, right? I'm more curious about things like portability, buying more space, ease of use, and really it's like this is an open source solution, unlike the proprietary LiveView. I don't see what are issues you probably run into inevitably. What big issues do you see? Assume that I've got the bonding one out of the way, because I'm very, very confident that I've got a working solution to the bonding problem. That's partially why I purchased the USB modem that's on the way. Do you know how to get people to donate to you on Twitch or money? Honestly, be interesting. Be somebody that people want to donate to. The bonding problem is a big one, but assume I have that one out of the way. Outside of the bonding problem, what else do you see that could potentially trip this thing up? I think runtime, the one area where it's lacking is that it doesn't have an internal battery, but it's actually a benefit as well. Because with the internal batteries in the units, you're dealing with this thing that could fail on you. It's another point of failure. Take the internal battery out of the equation, and suddenly you've dropped your weight drastically. How many sims do you plan on running? Up to 4. Up to 4 cellular modems. Just like LiveView. I want to hit them. I want to go head-to-head, direct competition. And again, this isn't proprietary. It's all open source shit. But Lurzy, hey, let me pull up some notes. I know a very simple answer, like be somebody that people want to donate money to. But I got you something good, if you bear with me a moment. I mean, it really comes back to that, right? But let me pull this up real quick, because I don't want to paraphrase on this one. I don't know. Okay, so here are the 2 objections of the giver. You put yourself into the perspective of this person who has money that they're willing to donate, right? You have to overcome these 2 objections. 1, I can't give to everyone. And 2, how do I know they really need it? In my case, I don't seek donations. I tell people all the time, I don't need your money. There are plenty of other ways that you can contribute to what I'm doing. Right? But if you need the money, be prepared to express some value that you're willing to offer in turn for this money. Remember, when people are sending you money, what they're really buying is goodwill. They're buying this feeling that they helped somebody who needed it. So you have to demonstrate that you have a need. And also be able to overcome this, I can't give to everyone. That's where your personality comes in. You have to be somebody that people want to donate money to. You can't be a complete piece of shit and expect that people will throw money at you. If you're a complete piece of shit, people will likely run the other way. TriCaster setups. TriCaster setups. TriCaster, let's see what they've got. Oh, it's new tech, yeah. Yeah. I'll make a note of it. Let me actually just, since I'm sitting here, let me take a look. One turnkey solution. I think that, oh yeah, I'm pretty sure I've seen one of these. I was in, at the school, the journalism school, they've got this really nice studio that I would like to put use to, because, you know, I'm a student. Why not, right? I don't know how much time I'll have, but if I can, I'd like to get in there and actually shoot some really high quality shit. Where's the photo? The single capture I took of it. I think it was right, I want to say it was right after all of this. Yeah, that's weird. I can't seem to locate that image for some reason. That's really weird. It must be on my other phone. Oh no, here it is. Here's the control room of the studio at the J school. This is an RJI. It's slick. And I've talked with the people that run the place. They're willing to open it up to me as long as I just like book it in advance. It's not like it sees a lot of utilization. I think most students don't give a shit about it, you know, which is funny. Like, you guys have access to this brilliant facility, but nobody wants to use it. Okay. And I just do low-key shit. My stuff is all super simple. I want to bring the initial cost of investment down. It's part of it. It's a very major part of it, is bringing down the cost to buy in and then the ongoing operational costs. I can save people $700 up front, and on the back end, I can save them $110, $120 a month. And that's before we get into mobile networking. Once we start getting into the networking component, I can bring the costs down even lower. But it's gonna take some time in order for me to actually see who all is real out there. Because I know there's some bullshitters. All the Amiga stuff back then. Trying to do out of the box broadcasting. Pretty much. That's it. It is out of the box, but it's out of OBS. And OBS gives you quite a bit of power. We have scene control already built up using the remote, right? It's open source. I can pull this up right now. I have some extraneous scenes set up, but you know, I've got my remote right here. Throw up the be right back screen, and we're back, right? Like, this stuff has existed for a long time. There are a lot of benefits to going with the setup that I've been describing. It's not just envisioned, I mean, like, I'm running it right now. The only thing that I don't have at the moment, come here, is the multiple cellular modems. I could do it right now with what I've got, but I'm waiting until the actual hardware comes in because I'm gonna take a piece of this pie. There's this big fucking pie over there, and I want it. I want more pie for everyone. White label. You'll need one hell of a good connection. Yes, we achieved the one hell of a good connection by bonding up to 4 decent connections. 4 decent connections equals 1 fat pipe. Right now, people's recommendations they're working with, I think that most folks are broadcasting at 6 megabits per second. Right? I'm broadcasting at 8, just because I'm at home and I've got fiber. But we should be able to hit 6. Other people have done it already. Like, I'm not worried about that part. My chief concern is bringing down costs, both for myself and on behalf of other people. Who can make it out of this one? A small slice of pie will make you a fortune. Hope you can make it out. Thank you. I hope so too. Like, I hope this is the thing that's going to put Yeti Eater up on the map. Because I've already pinged guys that have been doing this. The ones that are making money off of this right now. I don't mean broadcasters. I mean the businesses. And they've stumped me. Like I said, I hate to be ignored, man. Hate to be ignored. But if that's the way they want to play, that's fine by me. I'm willing to play hardball. Because if I play hardball, once they get me down that track, dude, I'm in it to win it. I'm not gonna stop until I sink their ship. Because business is a cutthroat thing. It's a cutthroat game. I'm gonna kill them, little by little. I'm gonna kill them with like just a couple of well-orchestrated blows. They're gonna go from fast-growing startup or wherever the fuck they're at to dead overnight. Because as soon as I get one partnered broadcast going, one partnered broadcaster on the system, the rest will topple over like dominoes. They'll look at this and they'll say, these guys were profiting so much off of us, we're never doing business with them again. I'm a simple guy, I don't need a lot of money. Just here to try to make the world a better place. Get more people in this game. Because this is not going anywhere fast. It's around to stay. This is, as a lot of people have said, it's the future of entertainment. Millions of channels. All available like this at any time. We saw that with YouTube. It's a great time to be alive. Do you have a Discord? Yeah, take a look right here. I need to rework it a little bit, I know. But YetiEater.com/Discord will bring you in. Is this my big black dildo on my desk? Which one? That? Or this? What are you talking about? Also, whoa. 4-letter username, that's cool. Must be an OG here. Welcome. Welcome to my humble little broadcast. I don't know what brought you around, but something must have worked. How come you didn't finish your MBA? Hey, Fake Ty Lopez, I'm working on it right now, dude. I'll be finished in May. I haven't updated my info panels. Just been busy with other shit. A lot of it's been engaging with you. But then there are other things too. Right now I'm just kind of waiting for a lull. It's pretty quiet. I'll start my reading soon, and then we'll move on. I gotta go get some fresh meat on my other tire. My other wheel. I'm gonna have 2 fresh pieces of rubber on the rear axle. Nice sticky stuff. And I'll eventually need to replace the fronts too. But, when the time's right. I cupped my tires, like, as soon as I'm on, I cupped them. Because I did some suspension work. I replaced all 4 corners. Just fucked up the alignment entirely. Drove it down to the shop, but by the time I was there, they were all feathered. So this time, it'll hold up. Car will ride a lot smoother after I replace the fronts as well. Anyways, let's get to work, huh? Let's get this reading out of the way. Paul, relax, relax, relax. You're not going anywhere. I'm holding on to you. Because you're just this psychotic killer right now. You got that bloodlust. Oh, boy. Oh, my boy. All right, there we go. Unlock your production potential. I have a feeling that new tech solution is going to cost a lot. Like, a lot more than what most hobbyists are able to afford. So, in the name of open source, I'm disinclined to go with it. I'm happy to see what type of technology they bring to the table. But, like, if I can do it for less, and if I can do it open source, I'm going to do it open source every time. And eventually, if people are clamoring for like, oh, hey, make us a box, make a proprietary box. Okay, we can look into that, but, that's when the time is right. Not here and now. Maybe tomorrow. First, I gotta take my first shot. Do guns help or hurt in picking up chicks? Depends on the chick, man. Some women like guns, some don't. I had my buddy review my Bumble profile. Joe Ben took a look at it. He was like, yeah, I'm gonna dump the one with the gun. I didn't complain. I mean, it's a polarizing thing, right? And with online dating, you want to cast a wide net. You don't want to be turning people away. You don't want people thinking you're a loony. There are a lot of loonies out there with guns. Excuse me. Women do like protectors, sure. But you can also signal that you have this protective mindset by showing yourself with cute little animals like this. Look at you, you're so useless by yourself, you know that? If you didn't have people, what would you be? You'd be this like tangled up little mass of fur. What the f? He's just looking at my monitor like, Paul, look at me. Yeah, don't put guns on your Tinder profile. Exactly. All right, let's get started. Yeah, I'm ready. 5 Gears by Jeremy Kubicek and Steve Cochran. 5 Gears from 2015. 5 Gears from 2015 focuses on adapting your attitude to your environment, whether that's a physical space or just a time of day, in order to stabilize your work-life balance and get the most out of your relationships, both at work and at home. While most techniques aim to fix this through time management, by understanding the principle and application of each gear, you'll find it easier to apply yourself to each part of your day and get the best from every moment. Who should read this? Office workers who find they can't switch off. Stay-at-home parents who don't seem to stop working. And those who aren't reaching their full potential in different relationships. Who wrote the book? Jeremy Kubicek and Steve Cochran are the co-founders of Giant Worldwide. Kubicek lectures on leadership and personal growth and is the best-selling author of Making Your Leadership Come Alive. Cochran is a recognized expert on personality development and applied leadership learning. He also speaks and teaches globally. What's in it for me? Learn how to stay present at every part of your day. Has anyone ever turned to you in the middle of a conversation and asked if you're really there? Whether you're working so hard that you can't switch off to spend quality time with your family, or you're so involved in looking after others that you never take any time for yourself, the pressures of the modern world can cause you to become disconnected from some parts of your life. But what if you could fully concentrate on everything you do throughout your day, from high-focus work to plain and simple rest and recharge? Rather than trying to find more time for one activity over another, Jeremy Kubicek and Steve Cochran have laid down the concept of 5 gears, helping you to understand and apply the most appropriate gear to each part of your day. From slow speeds when you start and stop your engine to full speed cruising down the freeway of your day-to-day, these blinks will explain what the different gears are and when you should use them. By following their lead, you can become more connected to all the situations and people you encounter every day. You'll also find out why you should always pay attention to the kiss cam, how one of the authors ended up watching a professional wrestling match, and what you can learn from a 3-wheel car from 1970s Britain. To avoid being disconnected from others, you need to use the right gear for each situation. Have you ever been sat on a beautiful beach only to realize that your mind is still at the office? Well, you're not alone. Many people find themselves not fully present, but instead disconnected from the situations they're in. Why? Just look at the experience of one of the authors, Jeremy Kubicek, who was working so hard that he was habitually late for dinner, his head still in his office paperwork, until his wife became so exasperated that it put a strain on their marriage. How did he get to that point? The disconnect stems from moving at different speeds to those around you. Imagine driving your car around the suburbs, but traveling at freeway speeds. You're bound to cause trouble and probably run somebody over. It'd be the same driving slowly down the freeway. You're going to get in the way of other cars. Now imagine that the freeway is your office, and the suburbs are your home. If you don't match your speed to your environment, then you're going to hurt those around you. In short, Kubicek was driving too fast for his home. This led him and Steve Cockram to develop the concept of 5 gears. In cars with manual transmission, you have multiple gears. You start in first and shift up to reach faster speeds, each gear being more appropriate to certain speeds than others. If you apply this idea to yourself and learn and understand your different gears, you can match your speed to your space. First gear is for individual recharge. Second gear is for connecting deeply with friends or family. Third gear is for casual socializing. Fourth gear is for working and getting multiple tasks done. Fifth gear is fully focusing on a single project. As in a car, each of these gears has a good and bad application, and smooth transitions are required to reach the different speeds properly. Over these blinks, we will look into and understand the pros and cons of each gear, as well as when to use them or not. Let's start with fifth gear. We drive 50 miles an hour in a 20-mile-an-hour speed zone without being aware. Fifth gear is good for getting something specific done, but can make you miss important opportunities. Have you ever been so in the zone and focused on something that time just flies by? This is fifth gear, where you effortlessly run at your most productive speed. Some people love this gear, but it's not always appropriate. So how do you use it properly? Well, it's brilliant for getting something specific done. Fifth gear is the highest in a car, maintaining fast speeds with less effort for a while. In the same way, your passion or competence at something allows you to get lots done with less effort once you transition into high gear. Look at Andrew, a client of the author's at Ford Motor Company, who uses fifth gear throughout the day to get in the zone and focus on getting important tasks done. However, it can cause conflict if he has to communicate with others. Andrew also operates an open-door policy for constant communication with his team and found that he had trouble giving them his full attention if they came to him when he was in fifth gear, meaning the policy wasn't helping anyone. Another example is a funny video on YouTube of a kiss cam incident at a basketball game, where a man is so focused on the court that he ignores the camera on him and his date to kiss another man instead. Too much focus can cause you to miss opportunities at which you might otherwise jump. So how can you make sure you use fifth gear correctly? By detaching yourself from other interactions. Andrew eventually found that if he let people know that right now he was in fifth, they would leave him to it and come back later, allowing everyone to get what they needed. In the same way, if you schedule specific times for fifth gear and let people know they'll have to wait, you can be sure to get your projects done without sacrificing focus or being too distracted to help other people. Fourth gear is the most commonly used for day-to-day action, but people tend to overdo it and risk burning out. When the authors teach clients about the 5 gears, a whopping 85% of leaders say that they're most commonly in fourth gear. No wonder, since this is the most productive gear, jumping around between multiple tasks and dealing with many events in the course of a day. But is there a bad side to this? Well, as we saw earlier with Kubicek's own experience, there unfortunately is. The more you try to do in fourth gear, the longer your to-do list gets, and the less you seem to be able to step outside of it. Renowned sports psychologist Dr. Jared Spencer likens the mind to a computer that, at the end of each day, closes and files of documents we have been opening all day. But if we're constantly opening new files without properly closing old ones, we can't fully shut down and often have a harder time sleeping, or worse. Joe Hill from Minnesota is a client of the author's who used to work constantly and operate in fourth gear, running himself ragged until he burnt out. He narrowly avoided a premature death from blood clots in his lungs because of this. That's not to say fourth gear is exclusively bad for you. In fact, it's vital to getting things done no matter what your profession. But it needs to be balanced out by other gears and shifted into and out of appropriately. One of the most common examples of this is waking up and checking your emails, meaning that you run headfirst into the day in fourth gear. But imagine a sports team playing an important game. They don't come charging out the locker room and straight onto the field without warming up first or warming down after. You also need to work up to fourth gear by spending a bit of time first and last thing every day in one of the lower gears. And if you use them appropriately, you'll find that when you are in fourth gear, it runs even better. With that in mind, let's shift down to third. Third gear is important for building relationships, but many find it difficult to entertain other people's interests. Are you the sort of person who enjoys coffee shop meetups or dinner parties with your friends? Then you're the sort of person who enjoys third gear, which is all about informal socializing with others. But there's more to third gear than having fun. It's great for getting to know people and forging relationships, both personal and professional. This is why companies take clients out to lunch or to play golf, to get to know people better and decide whether they want to work with them and shift up to fourth gear. So why is it that despite its importance for work and pleasure, many people still dislike or feel uncomfortable using third gear? Well, it's probably because of the diverse interests of the people with whom you end up socializing. No matter what you're interested in talking about, you're bound to meet people who'd rather discuss other things. But a little bit of curiosity in other people's interests can bring you opportunities and increase your influence. Look at one of the authors, Kussah, who once asked a fairly unassuming leader about his passions, expecting to hear something like stamp collecting, only to be told professional wrestling. They ended up at a big wrestling event together that evening and had a great time. By being just a little curious, he was able to really get to know someone and make a brand new friend and business partner. In the same way, you can create new opportunities in third gear by being genuinely curious about other people's interests and giving them your full attention, since you never know where it might lead. Just remember not to spend your whole life socializing in third gear. You wouldn't get anything done or have time to relax and develop real relationships as you would when you shift down to second gear. To socially connect with others, learn to be interested before being interesting. Second gear is for cementing real relationships, but is all too often ignored or forced at inappropriate times. You know those few people with whom you have a real connection? Maybe it's your partner, your family, or some close friends. The time you spend together forging those relationships is time spent in second gear. So why is this gear important? Because it's about taking third gear and bringing it to a more meaningful level, moving from deciding if you'd like to know more about someone to developing a deeper relationship with them. Being truly present with someone and building more of a bond with them will bring personal growth, inspiration, and peace of mind. However, it's easy to think you're in second gear when you're not. Consider Debbie Correa, a senior associate of the author's company from Phoenix, whose work as a realtor puts her on call at all hours, so that she's in fourth gear even at home with her phone nearby. She was hardly present when spending time with her family. Even her husband and kids were constantly working or using social media, avoiding second gear and never actually connecting with one another despite spending time together. Second gear requires the most joint responsibility, as everyone must be truly in gear for it to work. Just as the open door policy clashed with fifth gear, if someone comes to you in second gear and you're not present too, you're only wasting their time. So how can you make sure you reach second gear when you need it? You can start by putting your phone down. Another senior associate of Giant, Tom Nebel, used to lose quality time with his son to both of their phones until they finally agreed to shut them off and commit to second gear. He likens it to cowboys taking their guns off when entering the saloon, making sure everyone knew they weren't looking for a fight. Make sure not to force it either. There's nothing wrong with a bit of third gear if it's not the right time for going deeper. And, by the same token, sometimes you might just want to shift down to first. First gear is about personal recharge and is vital for the other gears but requires individual action. Imagine your phone only has 10% battery and you have an important call in an hour but no charger. It's not going to happen, is it? Your phone just doesn't have the energy to complete the call. So why do people think that they can run on empty without properly recharging? This is where the first gear comes in, where you take a bit of time to yourself and replenish your spirit. Proper recharge is not the same as crashing in front of the TV every evening and weekend, but gives you the energy to come alive rather than just hiding from life. As with your phone, if you're not fully charged, you won't be fully present, at least not for long. So if you want to be at your best when you're in other gears, you have to start by using first gear properly. So how exactly do you recharge? Well, that is the million-dollar question, since it's different for everyone. For example, if you're introverted, you may enjoy running or walking alone for exercise, reading a novel, or maybe just pursuing a particular hobby. But if you're extroverted, you might prefer exercising in a group, reading about your hobbies for inspiration, or even talking with someone in second gear. It's really up to the individual, but remember that it's not a substitution for second gear. If you come home from work and go straight into first gear, you run the same risk of not being present during the second gear phase as mentioned before. No matter how you recharge, just remember to try and fit in some first gear, both first thing in the morning and last thing at night, whether it's a morning yoga session or cooking family dinner in the evening. After all, you wouldn't try to start or stop your car without using first gear, so why do the same with yourself? If you recharge regularly and effectively, then all your other gears will also run smoothly throughout your day. So we've now seen all 5 gears, but there is still one more gear on a car's transmission. Working from your rest, not resting from your work, is the goal. Apologizing in reverse gear is important for maintaining respect and influence, but needs sincerity. In the 1970s, a UK car manufacturer built a 3-wheeled car called the Reliant Robin. It was quite a comical-looking car with several drawbacks, most notably having no reverse gear. This was not a particularly nimble car, having to constantly strut forward even when it was clearly a bad idea. If you don't know how to use your and apologize for your mistakes, you won't be living a very nimble life. It's a difference between being responsive or resistant. Responsive people are aware of their responsibility for their actions and will reverse and make amends when it's needed. Resistant people, on the other hand, would rather pass the blame than admit their mistakes and will fight instead of reconciling, thereby digging deeper and deeper holes. The distinction between responsive and resistant is important because it affects the way others view and respect you. Imagine watching a sportsman make a serious mistake. Do the crowds prefer the one who tries to blame his teammates, or the one who puts his hand up and admits he messed up? It's always the latter, so long as they don't do it again. Responsive people are much easier to work with and be around because they can change direction and because they try to resolve issues instead of avoiding them. So how can you make sure you reverse correctly? Probably the most important thing is to use it sincerely. Using an apology to get out of disagreements or manipulate others into getting what you want is not healthy behavior and the opposite of being responsive. Make sure you reverse only when you know you're wrong, and then make sure you do it every time. The only other thing is to be sure to always learn from the experience. When you've overused another gear and run somebody else over, reverse, apologize, and try not to do it again. So, now that you understand the 5 gears concept, let's see how you can incorporate it into your routine. Influence rises when people admit their mistakes. 5 gears requires practice and self-awareness, always applying the right gear to the situation. If you're serious about understanding your gears and being present in each part of your day, then you need to get ready to work. You can't expect to change just by hoping for it. You have to intentionally adjust your actions from here on out. The first thing to remember is that there is a correct time and place for every gear. Whenever you find yourself disconnected from a situation, missing opportunities, or running somebody over, chances are you're using the wrong gear for the context. The author's research found people generally move between 5 circles of influence: self, family, team, organization, and community. Each of these requires different gears to navigate appropriately, such as your family needing more second and third gear, or yourself focusing on first and fifth. The trick is to be aware of which circle you're in at all times and which gear would be most appropriate. This awareness of context is the first step to maintaining the right gear. However, the most important step is to know yourself. The authors have a method for this, the core process. First, you call the issue. Own it. Figure out how to respond to it, and then execute this plan. If you apply this to yourself, you need to start with an honest appraisal of which gears you use the most. Try ranking them from most to least used, and be truthful about it. Once you've called this, own it and try to understand how you'd rather have them ranked. Do you need more first or second gear for yourself and your loved ones? Perhaps there's too much socializing happening in third gear. Whatever you need, respond by figuring out a plan to make the adjustments and then execute it. Whether it means putting your phone away when you're with your family, or using a landmark on your commute home to remind you to shift out of 4th gear, if you consciously make the effort to find a balance of all your gears, you'll find yourself more and more present in every part of your day. You know the method. It's time to utilize your gearbox to its full potential. Final summary. The key message in this book. Many of us are stuck in one mode, but this isn't enough. Understanding each of the 5 gears and when best to use them is the key to being present in every part of your life. From the high focus of 5th gear to multitasking in 4th, socializing in 3rd, connecting with your loved ones in 2nd, or making time for yourself in 1st. Each gear has a right and wrong time and place, even reverse. So long as you know which gears you lean on and which you avoid, you can start to apply the correct one to each part of your day until you're fully present in each situation. Actionable advice. Incorporate the language into your office or family. If you bring the terminology of 5 gears to your home or office, you can easily let others know when you or they are in a different gear to what's needed. If a colleague is still talking business at lunch, just tell them to switch to 3rd, or if your child is looking for attention while you're in 5th, flash them 5 fingers. The message is clear, and no one gets offended by a personal slight. It's just a case of changing gear. Suggested further reading. Collaborative Intelligence by Donna Markova, PhD, and Angie MacArthur. Collaborative Intelligence from 2015 is a guide to developing your own personal form of intelligence by utilizing your unique ways of thinking. This book will teach you how to identify and build on your strengths as well as those of others, while adjusting your communication accordingly. I had 1 drop of water left. Like, I ran out of water before I even started. What was that last one? Collaborative intelligence. Paul, come here. Go golf ball. He doesn't even want to get up. He's just like, collaborative intelligence by this lady doctor, Donna Markova, PhD, and NG MacArthur. And we'll find him. I'm not in a rush. Anyways, I'm going to throw up the be right back screen. I need to take a bio break. See you in a bit. Surprise! We've switched scenes considerably. Now, hopefully everything is holding up. Oh, you finished your food, good boy. Whew, I'm hungry. I usually don't get hungry like this in the middle of the day. Like my stomach just growled. I think I know what I'll do though. I'm tempted to go get a gyro. There's this guy, he's got a nice gyro shop nearby the tire shop. Or maybe I'll stop in and get some tacos next door, I don't know. But I'm feeling good. Like, I'm feeling good enough that I feel comfortable to eat out a bit. However, I might not, just because the money is important. I gotta keep investing in what I'm doing. And there's gonna be a price to pay to learn. So perhaps it's best to avoid any extraneous spend for the time being. Coming soon, however, I'm also going to implement my guerrilla marketing strategy. Oh, nice. Free users now get unlimited private repositories on GitHub. Okay, let's see where we're at. This dude, he was here and then he left. 26,7695. Oh, come. 7695. Let's see. Activity. He's offline. Must be offline on Discord. Come here, Emily. Come here. Come here. Come up here. Come on. Good boy. There you go. My good boy. Proud of you, kid. Very proud of you. Also, it's nice to have all this data coming back in again. I wonder how quickly the channel's been growing on Mixer. Channel growth. Let's take a look at this channel growth thing. Mixer, we went from, yeah, dude. In this past week, I picked up like 30 followers on Mixer. So at that rate, it's going to take a year in order to make the follower requirements for partner. But that's solid. That's really solid, considering there's no marketing push. A lot of people that follow me on Twitch aren't following on Mixer yet. But if you're here with me right now, just know that Mixer is where the best experience is. And like you'll see the difference. You'll be able to tell the difference very quickly. It comes back to one thing: interactivity. Because I'm often very happy to engage with you. Most of the time, I'm very happy to engage. Like, that's what I'm here for. Especially at this point. This is the ground floor. It's where I want. We got to engage with peoples. If I didn't engage, I'd be a bit of a dick, wouldn't I? Or an asshole, I should say. And I may be a dick, but I'm certainly no asshole. I had a dorm mate call me that back in the day. He'd be like, "You're an asshole. You're an asshole." I asked him why. He never really gave me a good response for why. He just, I don't know, for some reason I fit his definition of an asshole. And maybe I was one back in the day. But I feel like I've always been more of a dick. Definitely no pussy, although I've been a pussy before. A few times in my life I've pussed out of things, and I should have taken the shot, and I regret it.
I really do regret those moments. But they made me into the man I am today. Bonafide dick. Let me holler at this girl real quick, see what she's up to. Hey, you should save this number too. What you making? Rolling a cigarette. I got some pipe tobacco here in front of me. I don't have any smokes, so. I don't have any smokes and my vaporizer is presently out of commission. I hollered at the company on Twitter and they've yet to respond, which I'm not enthused about. Definitely not enthused about that shit. I hope they get around to getting back to me, because, you know, it'd be nice. I don't know, people roll their 6 these days. Yeah, I'm old school, dude. I'm actually really bad at rolling 6. I never really rolled. I always just kind of pushed to somebody else. Picture of some cute looking girl. Okay, so here's what we got. I don't know if my lady friend is, I would imagine she's out for lunch. know she saw my message, or she heard my message, because it disappeared. So I just sent her another one asking lunch. Want to know if she's available right now? I'll ask if she's seeing anybody. If she is, I can't fuck with it. Wouldn't do that. Not my style. I think rolling has gone out of fashion for a long time because it takes so long. It's like the most leisurely way to consume tobacco. These days they have the shorties, like the 72s. And I've bought those before, but my personal preference for tobacco, if I'm going to buy smokes, I like the natural American spirits because they burn real nice and slow, and that's it. They're just like a nice, slow burning smoke. More leisurely. And they used to send me coupons and shit. I imagine I could get on the list again if I wanted to. But I'm not looking to buy tobacco anymore. I got this pouch of pipe tobacco, and when I finish, it's done. In fact, when I finish these papers, of which there are only, I don't know how many there are left. There are a few, maybe like 4 more, 5 more. Then I'm finished smoking. Like, I'm finished smoking by myself. I'll smoke socially, but that's it. No more of this shit. Don't be like this, Paul. Relax. Take it easy, bud. Everything is good. Oh shit, she's actually on, I think it's a woman. Damn. Damn, dude. I'm actually getting some people like stopping by and check out my shit now. I'm gonna make a really nice fat smoke. Get packed down nice. Anyways, all that from earlier is gone. The folks that were hanging out in chat. Oh, she's in Dallas for work. Great. I guess I'm not gonna see her. At least not today. I don't know when she gets back. I would like to see her again. Been a long time. At least catch up. Last time I chatted with her was just over FaceTime. She's got a house now. She was living by herself, has a house, you know. I was telling her Wi-Fi sucks. It'd be cool to invite her over. In fact, let me see when she's coming back in town. Statement, question. Trying to figure out what she's up to. Keeping it positive. Hey, leave it.
smoking ban, but oh yeah, I think they banned smoking in like Paris's sidewalks and shit, cafes, which really sucks because that was a pretty big part of culture, just sitting around and smoking and drinking. Welcome. Thank you for following. I don't know what inspired you to do it, given that we haven't really communicated, but I hope you'll find some aspects of this channel interesting. Much obliged. Dude, it gave me the British spelling of apologize. Copy pasta going down. It's my peoples. Boom, boom, boom. See if I can drum up like one viewer. Almost finished with this one. Not gonna roll another one for a good while. Time to kill this one. I'll head back in. Let me get some water. And I don't know what else, man. It's like, I think go get the car work done. Because chat is dead. And I don't have much else I need to actually do on the ground here, at least that I can think of immediately. Besides just like cleaning up my mess. You know? I did make quite a mess. But it's part of it. Let's see if she wants to pay a visit sometime. Come on. Let's go get this car shit done. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Come on. Yeah, so I'm gonna go charge up the iPad, or I'm gonna leave it there. Actually, it's fine. I'll charge right there. I just need to get some shit together. You can't see chat right now, so if you're coming in from SAD and I'm not responding to you, please don't take it personally. I'll get around to doing this first. Grab my backpack. Grab my satchel. I'm gonna roll out. Oh. If this will hold up when I enter the garage. I don't have the wireless access point in the garage online at the moment, so I expect that it's going to drop off in a really big way. Alright, so one thing I'm a little curious about, I haven't toggled this option yet, see what happens. Go from even partial to full, and I see no difference. No difference. No difference with this cam. So I just knock it down to partial. Just be safe. Yeah, so I'm ready to piece here in a bit. And Kussah, I'll give you a call. I hope you'll take my call this time, man. You know, you can always call. Like, I'm not gonna turn down your call. In fact, I wish people would reach out more. Really. Because I may get busy, but at the same time, I'm perfectly willing and happy to work while talking with folks. Like, dude, I really wanted to get people together and talking regularly in the Discord server. And that still hasn't happened. Like, I put myself out there and, you know, said, hey, would be interest, and just nothing. Like, a couple of people said, yeah, I'm down, but nothing. I should try to set some regularly scheduled times, which is open mic. You know, just kind of take it from there. I had like one three-way conversation, and then since then it's just been radio silence again. No big. I mean, this is all, it's all small shit, you know? Like, I'm happy that I have anybody really in the Discord server at this point. I invested in it early, it was the right move. I love you, kid. Most people are only down to talk off stream though, and that's fine with me, man. Like, I can always throw on the headphones. That's what they're here for. Happy to make that happen if that's what people are more comfortable with. I'm not gonna go ahead and pull the brake right now. I'm not going to do a mobile live stream because I want to actually focus up on what needs to be done. I do need to spend some time concentrated on just figuring out my next moves. I love you, kid. You're gonna come with. Alright, so for now, let's pull this thing off the air, and I'll catch up with you later, probably this evening. Most likely this evening. We'll see if Girly hollers back. So she said she's out of town until Thursday night, so I just texted back to say, visit sometime. Let her know I got a picnic table set up in the back. I wouldn't mind kicking with her again. But regardless, Thursday I'm gonna have my homies coming through. I'll be hosting him. One of my best friends from college. Really excited that he's coming to visit my city. Should be a good time. What's wrong? What's the matter? Is everything okay? What? Yes. Alright. For now, goodbye, world. I love you. I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.